Good morning and welcome to my show. I'm your host, Danny Graham, and I both invite and encourage you to walk with me on the road to wisdom. Come on, y'all. Let's walk. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, December the 20th, 2023, and Christmas is count them, 5 days away. And I know kids and adults alike are waiting that anxiously to see their kids open up the presents and get presents and receive presents. And we should be praising and thanking God because He allowed us to see another one of His birthdays, another year under the belt, and hopefully, if 2023 wasn't a good year for you, that 2024 will be much better and more awesome. So definitely, again, before I get into this, Merry Christmas to everyone that's watching this, and a Happy New Year. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about my statement here, which is beware of microwave success. Beware of microwave success. Now, we all know what a microwave is. It's the device used. I don't know who invented this device, but he or she should be given a Nobel Peace Prize or some kind of prize, which I'm sure they were, because it has made life a lot more convenient. And a microwave also has a lot of pros, but has a lot of cons. And when you put the word microwave with success, that is, translates into a very fast getting success in a fast way. So beware of micro success. Beware of macro success. Let me go ahead and give you a definition of what I found. The want of status, position, money, power, in a quick fashion that is not necessarily earned or even deserved. Microwave success. The want of status, not only the want, but to achieve the status, the position, the money, the power in a quick fashion that is not necessarily earned or even deserved. Also, before I get into my discussion, let me give you the scripture of what I'm reading today. The scripture comes from the book of Proverbs, the 19th chapter, 2nd verse, and it says, ambition without diligence or knowledge puts a person at risk. Proverbs 19, chapter 2nd verse, ambition without diligence or knowledge puts a person at risk. We live in a world today, and I'm speaking from my profession because I've been doing it for 28 years, so I see a lot of this. So I'm pretty sure in your particular profession, whatever you may, if it's not law enforcement, whatever profession you're in, you probably see it in some shape, form, or fashion at your level as well. But we live in a world now where people want things fast, fast, fast. When I first got in law enforcement, my goal was to eventually make maybe not the rank, but the position that I'm in. I wanted to be over patrol division. I wanted to be a command staff officer, but I knew it was going to take a lot of time and a lot of work. That you're just not going to walk in and be granted that. In fact, one of the building blocks, one of the steps to becoming the rank that I am today is that you got to be a corporal and then a sergeant, and the sergeant progresses to lieutenant, lieutenant progresses to captain, captain progresses to major, the major progresses to maybe to assistant chief or chief deputy or whatever, and then eventually that can progress to the rank of chief or sheriff, depending on what department you're in. If you're in the police department, it could progress to the rank of chief. If you're in the sheriff department, it could progress to the rank of sheriff. Never wanted to be a sheriff. Had aspirations of being a chief. That may be later on in the cards for me, but right now it's not. But I know in order to get that particular rank or that particular status, you have to put in your time. You can't have microwave success. Well, in some aspects of it. But if you want to be successful, you have to have what I call the crock pot mentality. And the crock pot mentality is, we all know what a crock pot is. You put in all the ingredients. You put in the salt, you put in the pepper, you put in the water, you put in the onion sauce, depending on what you're cooking. You put in the meat, you put in the potatoes. If you're making a beef stew, you put in the carrots, you put in all this stuff, and you just turn the heat on slow sometime or high, but usually slow. You cook it very slow, hours after hours. I want to know whenever my wife does it, and it starts cooking and warming up, you can start smelling it. It'll permeate and that aroma will go all through the house. You be like one of them cartoon characters, and your nose smells that catches that smell, and you're like floating through the house. It is delicious, a delicious smell. But in order for it to taste good and delicious, it has to simmer. It has to sit a long time and cook. It has to develop. You can't put it in the microwave and get that same. It's not just going to work. You have to put it in that slow cooker. That slow cooker mentality is going to let things marry together. Going to let things marinate. Going to let things get together and cook slow. And usually when it cooks slow, the meat is tender and it's delicious. It's because it's prepared the correct way. You do things fast. A lot of times you can burn it. A lot of times it just don't taste fast because that microwave has so much power and it's so fast that it just sometimes it saps the taste out of it, depending on what the particular entree is. Now, for some things, microwave success is good. And I give you an example: popcorn. Hey, you put popcorn on too long, and it ain't gonna. It's gonna be burnt and scotch and not taste good. But the microwave was perfect for that. So there's certain aspects in life that, yeah, you do want microwave success. You want things done fast, depending on how time sensitive something is. But something that is going to last and something that's going to endure, so that you can build on, so that you can build and be proud of, and then pass on. Or if you leave this place, not if, but when you leave this planet, you leave this place, your legacy will stand on and on and on. Kind of like the person that built the White House. On and on and on. Betsy Ross that made the flag. On and on and on. Their legacy. That it took Betsy Ross painstaking days to make that flag, to sew it together and stuff. But now that is a symbol of the United States, and it has endured years and years and years. That kind of stuff takes time. If you want something that's going to last, something that's going to be profound, something that can be passed on from generation to generation, you have to build it sturdy. You can't build it fast. Just like careers, you can't come in day one and want a brand new car. You can't want to be ranked. You can want it, but you shouldn't achieve it that fast, because in this profession, you don't know what you're doing. You come in here, let's say you get hired December 20th, 2023. December 20th, 2024, you're already ranked a sergeant. I can tell you firsthand right now, in this profession, you're not going to know what you're doing in a year. It takes years to get comfortable. And for my first time becoming sergeant, it took me 12 years to make it. From the day I was hired to the day I put on my stripes for the first time, it took me roughly 12 years. I started in 1995, and when I became sergeant, it was a year 2006. So from 95 to 2005 is 10 years. 2006, 11 years. It took me 11 years to become sergeant for the first time. And I still was scared. I can remember going on the shift that first time as a supervisor, terrified. But luckily I had somebody that had my back and mentored me and said, look, you come to a situation that you can't handle. You can't talk yourself through it. You can't walk your way through it and get from point A to point B. That is a very successful and legal solution, does not violate policy. Then you call me. And I had that safety net. And that's how I learned. But it wasn't a microwave success. It took time. It took those 12 years. I had building blocks to learn. And I still was a little leery and stuff. But then once I became more confident in my decisions, and once I started the mentality of worrying about just me, now I got to worry about a whole shift. I got to make sure that these people go home, that these people do what's right, that these people don't go out here and trying to harass people and to treat people a certain way. I've always say this, that as a supervisor, you should be the extinguisher. You should not go out there and be the accelerant. And we have a lot of supervisors that are accelerants. They go out to a situation and make the situation worse. That's not what you're there for. You're there to supervise, and you're there to, when things are going wrong, to be a voice of reason and to calm things down. But a lot of people now, we live in a society now that they want things fast. They want that rank fast. They want to be able to tell somebody what to do, and then they don't know what they're doing themselves. And that is something that's crazy. That is a microwave success. When you get something so fast that you can't appreciate it or you don't know what to do with it. Microwave success can be a downfall in any profession, in any walk of life. So you have to have that, like I said, that slow cooker mentality. You have to put in the ingredients. You have to let it cook. No matter how much you want to take it out and take a taste, no, you let it sit in there for hours. You let it marinate. You let it do whatever it do, and you make those spices, those flavors, that whatever ingredients you put in there, they have to moldly together, and then it's going to taste even better once you're done after that 12 hours. And I'm going to equate the 12 hours it may take to cook something to the 12 years or the 11 hours it took to make the perfect beef stew. It took 11 hours to make Sergeant Graham, and then Sergeant Graham, once he learned the things, he was a much better supervisor. But today, people want to walk in 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I'm sergeant. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then they want to be next thing looking for next rank is lieutenant, and they want that within another year or two. They want or asking, why are you still here? Why you clogging up the promotion line? Okay, we clogging up promotion line because one, we probably not old enough to retire. Two, we are just now getting to a place now because in addition to that 11 years it took me to be a sergeant, it took me another few years to become. I didn't even make lieutenant. I was able. Lord bless me. I skipped that rank and went to captain from sergeant. But it took even from 2006 to 2017. So that's another 11 years. It took another 11 years for me to become captain. So it took 22 years in order for me to go from slick sleeve to captain. I couldn't do it any faster for me. Some people do it faster, but my career took that slow cooker mentality, and for that it made me better. I was more prepared because the responsibility of 3 or 4 people now went to like 20 to 30 people, and you think supervising 20 and 30 people is an easy task, then I got some news to tell you. It's not, and it was a learning curve, but I was able to handle it. Then I guess once I was prepared for the slow cooking, I guess I had to get a little bit of that microwave success. And I won't say microwave success because after that, another 3 years, I made the current rank I'm at now, which is major. But from zero to where I'm at now, it took me roughly 24 years to get where I'm at now. And there's some people that walk in the door and they want it right now. Oh, I can do what you do. You don't do anything. You gotta let things cook in that slow cooker mentality. You can't beware of that microwave success. A lot of people get positions and power and money and stuff because their parents, their dad, or their cousin, or somebody, or some family member, or somebody that they know gave them that, and they don't know what they're doing. And that's a recipe for failure. A recipe for failure. It is not a recipe for success. Things in the Bible. I'm pretty sure that Jesus' friend Lazarus, that he knew he was dying and his family were dying, and they wanted Jesus to come. They sent word for him to come, but Jesus was doing other things and he was heading that way, and then he got word that his friend Lazarus had died, and I'm pretty sure that they wanted him to come. But God had a plan. He had a plan. Jesus had a plan to show just how powerful he was. And he let nature take its course. When he got there, he wept because he was sad that his friend died. But guess what? He used his power. Some people could say it was, did he have the mentality of the slow cooker process and let the process of death come to Lazarus? And then he showed that he has the power to let the slow cooking mentality work. But then Jesus is the ultimate microwave too. If you want to do things fast, Jesus can do things fast. And he quickly went in there and prayed and resurrected Lazarus from the dead. So he used microwave success. But Jesus is the only person that can control that. We can't even fathom or even think that we have the power to have microwave success in the fashion that Jesus has it. Now there's some situations that we have to act fastly on, but to control it, go back and forth, forward and back, side to side, use it with precision, use it with the accuracy, with the perfectness that Jesus uses with, that's beyond our capability. Sometimes we do things luckily and get by with it, but to control things, speed it up, slow it down, that kind of stuff, in the realm of miracle work like what Jesus did when he was here. We can't do that. Jesus always has a plan, and most of the time we think believers and sinners alike think that sometimes Jesus acts too slow. Jesus doesn't act too slow. God doesn't act slow. They act just on time. I guarantee you, when you sit back and look at the issues that you're in, the valleys that you're in, and when you get out those valleys, you be like, Lord, have you forsaken me? Please, please help. Please help. And you want relief right now. You want microwave relief right now. But guess what? That's not what Jesus wants. And he waits till the perfect time when you think that all hope is lost and there's no way, then he makes a way. But he lets it simmer, because by letting it simmer, by using that crock pot mentality, he is teaching you and he is testing you. It always goes back to those two T's that I talk about, teaching and testing. The more he tests you, the more he teaches you, the more you learn. And teaching and testing a lot of times takes time. But you want things fast. You live in a society where you want things fast. I want a car, I want it fast. I want a job, I want to walk in a job making the top pay. You can't do that. When I first started law enforcement, I was making about $17.5. Let that sink in. And that's 28 years ago. 28 years ago, I started this journey in law enforcement making $17.5. Would I like to walk in the door and make what I'm making today? I sure would. And some departments are doing it now. 28 years later, they're making close to what I'm making to today. That took time. And now, the reason why some departments are doing that, because people want what they want. They want it fast. They don't want to earn it. They don't want to build up to that. You got to throw money in some professions in order to just get people, because they don't want to put in the time. They don't want to earn their stripes. They don't want to put in the work. They want instant gratification, high salary, all that kind of stuff, just because I said so. I want it. I deserve it. No, you don't deserve it. You deserve to start at the bottom like everybody else and work your way up and put in your time. That way, that when you finally get to where you're going to get to, you'll get to your goal that you have put in there to try to achieve. It's going to feel that much better. You're going to feel like you earned it. You're going to feel like you deserve it. But like I said, this microwave success, this microwave gratification, instant. I want it fast. It's a detriment to a lot of us, and it's hurting our society. It's hurting our spirituality in some cases. It's hurting. It's doing more harm than good, because people want things fast. Microwave success. I want to be famous. I want to be rich. I want to be all this stuff. I want all the good stuff, but you don't want to go through the bad stuff, or you don't want to go through the process that it takes to learn that. How do you think that Noah felt when he told his wife that he's going to build an ark and it's going to take him decades? Not years, but decades. I'm going to have to go out here and get this wood and build something I've never heard of, but God told me to do it. I'm pretty sure if God wanted to make it fast, he could have done whatever. He could have put the power, he could have done whatever he needed to do to make it fast. But God had the crock pot mentality when it took Noah to make the ark. If memory serves me correctly, it was over 100 years it took Noah to make the ark. Could you imagine how he felt? Probably felt a little unnerved and sometimes, and people laughing at him, calling him crazy and stuff, and he probably felt vulnerable and like, Lord, are you sure this is what you want me to do? But he was steadfast. He was obedient. He had the slow cooker mentality. 100. Can you imagine something slow cooking for 100 and something years? But guess what? That's essentially what had happened. Noah took 100 something years of his life to build that ark. It was worth it, because the Lord guided him. He built it strong. He built it to last and enduring a great deal of pressure with all that water. And only him, his family, all the animals that God sent to be on the ark survived. Bet you those people that were laughing which they would have gotten as that crock pot mentality. And they wanted something fast. They wanted fast relief when it started raining. When it started raining, I guarantee you, that thought process was, oh, you know what? Maybe Moses was right. Correction, not Moses. Maybe Noah was right. Noah, can I get on the boat? Let me on the boat. Nope, you can't get on the boat. I tried to tell you. For 100-something years, I told you what was going to happen. You saw me building this. You laughed. You thought I was crazy. Microwave success. Microwave success. You do things fast. You cut corners. You're going to mess it up. God gave him the knowledge. He gave him the understanding. Look, it's not going to be a fast process. This is going to take it some time. But I guarantee you when it's finished, it's going to be the thing that protects you and gets you through what I'm about to send. But a lot of times if you're moving so fast, you want things so fast, you miss things. You don't learn things. You skip over things. You cut corners. When you cut corners, you miss things. You're bound to make a mistake. When you do things slow and steady and set aside microwave success for crock pot mentality, then I guarantee you, more times than not, you're going to be successful. Now, an example of microwave success that did work and that God had his hands in is Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot. For years, God saw Sodom and Gomorrah become more and more evil, more and more evil, more and more evil. Abraham was pleading for that city. Surely, Lord, there's X number of people in there that are righteous and worth saving. God said, if you can find me a certain number of people, I'll spare Sodom and Gomorrah. Couldn't find it. Abraham went back to him. Lord, surely there's this amount of people, lesser number of people that can be saved. God said, okay, if you find me that number of people, then I'll spare Sodom and Gomorrah. Couldn't find that number of people. Came back to the Lord. Lord, surely this lesser number of people, you can find this. God said, okay, you found a lesser number of people, then I'll spare it. Came down to one person. And only because Lot was the descendant of Abraham, God said, I'll spare it. I'll spare your family member. I'll send my angels there, talk to them, get them out of there. God sent the angels, and Sodom and Gomorrah was so evil, so full of sin, a lot like the world is today, that these fools wanted to have sex with the angels. Lot was so weak, he said, look, you can't lay with these men, but I give you my daughters. Tell me what kind of dad that is, to even have that mentality. But the angels and God said, look, I need to get out of here fast. Let's kick this evil city has been simmering. This slow cooking mentality of evil, which is Sodom and Gomorrah, has been simmering for years. But now we about to get it up out of here. We about to microwave this and have some success in ridding the earth to this evil place. So you and your family need to get out of here right now, because in the next few minutes, fire and brimstone are going to hit this place. And guess what? Don't even look back, because if you look back, there's going to be a consequence. So Lot, his daughters, and his wife quickly got out of there, because God was turning up the heat. He turned up the microwave. And he succeeded in destroying. So that's what I'm talking about with microwave success. And where God can use the microwave success and have success, he has the ability to do that. But he let it slow cook for a while, the evil, to try to see if people are going to have enough sense to reach out to him and to try and change their lives. But they didn't do it. That's the time when the slow cooking mentality was done for evil and done for wrong. But what it did also do its job is that it cemented all this evilness. So he let it cook, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and he destroyed it. So that slow cooking mentality did work, but it worked in a negative way. It made it more evil. The more it permeated, the more it sit on that heat, the more it sit on its own heat, it just starts stewing in its own evilness. Kind of like the world today. God letting us get about all this stuff, and each year that rolls around, each generation, like the world is getting more and more evil. When you think he's going to stop that? When he's going to take us off this slow cooker and then microwave and destroy? Rapture is definitely going to happen. I definitely have no doubt in it. And I want to be in that number when it happens. I don't want to be here in this slow cooker. There's a time I want to have that microwave success and be snapped up. The only time I want to be in a microwave success situation is when God is doing the cooking, when Jesus is doing the cooking. If nobody else ain't doing the cooking, let me stay in the slow cooker. But God won't turn the microwave on and does and take over the recipe and take over the heat source. I'm all for it. I want to be in that microwave success that fast when the rapture happens. That's what I want to be in. Moses, how many years Moses stayed out in the wilderness when he was cast out of Egypt? How many years was the Israelites in slavery? Over 400 something years. God let all that permeate. But then he said, Moses, I need you to go and free my people. He still hadn't kicked it into microwave success yet because it took a while. It took 10 plagues to finally get Pharaoh to release the Israelites. 10 plagues. If you see one act of the power that God displayed back then, don't you think it would change your mind and person? But what an ego you must have to take 10 times God sent drastic plagues to show that he is God. So he let slow cook for 400 years till he had enough of it. Then he sent Moses to release the Israelites. 10 plagues, he let that slow cook. After those 10 plagues and the Pharaoh released his people, God led his people to freedom. He led them to the Red Sea. They thought they were trapped on all sides when Pharaoh's heart was hardened again, he chased after them. There was only water in front of them and mountains to the side and behind, and Pharaoh's army behind him. They thought surely they were going to perish. What God do? He turned on microwave. Moses, lay your staff out over. He split the Red Sea, the entire Red Sea. Let that sink in. Microwave success, but God's handling the microwave. When God handles the microwave, it's always going to be success. So God handled that microwave. He turned the heat on. He split the Red Sea. They say he split it so good and dry that the land was dry. The bottom of the sea, the floor of the sea was dry, just like regular concrete, and the Israelites walked over it. The same way he microwaved and opened it, he microwaved and closed it, and he closed all that water back in on Pharaoh's army. And he microwaved that problem just like that. When God's running the microwave, it's always going to be a fantastic dessert. It's going to be a good ending. When we try to do microwave success, we usually mess it up. We leave it in too long, or something's going to happen, or it's burned up. It's not going to taste right. But when God is handling the microwave, it's going to be a success. When we try to handle the microwave, we cut corners, we mess it up. And a lot of times, it's just not what it should be if we took the long, slow process. Took time to build it. So don't always worry about wanting microwave success. Always confer with God. God, then he'll control whether or not you keep it, continue to slow cook it, continue to grill it, continue to barbecue it, or put it in the microwave and speed it up. Let God be controlling. Let God control that. Don't you try to control that. Because when you get behind the stove or put some in the microwave, most times you're going to mess it up. So that's just my thoughts on microwave success. If you know somebody that would like this microwave success, try and talk to them. Look, you got to put your time in. You got to do your due diligence. You just can't jump here from A to F. You got to go through B. You got to go through C. You got to go through D. You got to go through E, then get to F. But a lot of people want to jump straight from A to F, straight from F to M, straight from M to R, straight from R to Z. Can't do it. Sometimes there are exceptions to the rule, and they can navigate that, but they are few and far in between. Just my 2 cents. Before I get out of here, I want to go ahead and read the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. If this is your first time ever seeing me on this channel, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell because I don't want you to miss anything that I upload. Also, I'm going to ask you to give me a thumbs up, like. That definitely helps. I'm going to ask you to also leave me a comment because I read your comments and I definitely will respond back to you. I definitely want to ask you to watch my videos in its entirety from start to finish It also helps with the YouTube algorithm. Hope that you have a fantastic Christmas. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you be back here to see me Friday. Friday, I'm not sure what my video is going to be at this time, but I'm going to try and tailor it for something around the holidays. Let me tell you a story before I get out of here. This story is about slow cooking versus microwave success. There was this barber. He had a customer that's sitting in the chair. He said, I want you to look at this because this is the dumbest kid I've ever seen. Watch this. So he calls the kid in. He puts out $1 bill. He puts out a $5 bill. He asks, kid, which one do you want? The kid picks $1 bill. Walks out the store, the barber shop. And he look at the customer and says, see what I tell you? Every time I do that, he always picks $1. So a few minutes after he got finished cutting the customer's hair, he saw the child walking out of the ice cream shop. And he walked outside the barber shop and stopped the kid and said, let me ask you something. I just got to know. Why do you always pick the $1 bill? I give you an opportunity to take a $1 bill and a 5. You always pick the 1. Little boy looked at him and let the ice cream cone. He said, because the day that I picked that $5 bill, this game would be over. So the little boy had more knowledge. He knew that if he continued to pick that dollar, that every day or every so often, whenever this man wanted to prove how dumb he was, that he would get the $1 bill, he would always get the ice cream. But the day he picked the $5 bill, that the game would stop. So he did slow microwave mentality. He had a slow crock pot mentality. He knew if I keep picking that dollar, I'm going to keep getting the dollar. I'm going to keep getting my ice cream, and I'm going to be satisfied. The way he should be, the smart thing to do. But if you take that $5 bill, yeah, he got more money, but guess what? It's going to end as soon as they spend the $5. So make sure that in life, just because something looks better, and it may have more value at that particular time, but what good is it to have that value or to have that rank or to have that position and you don't know what to do with it, and it's going to stop as soon as you get to a certain point. As long as that little boy keep taking $1, as long as you keep taking $1 and you keep improving your knowledge or keep doing whatever you're doing, eventually you're going to get to where you're going to get. And once you get there, you're going to be that much more richer, that much more equipped to handle it. So don't always grab what looks good, what seems to be the most at that particular time. Make sure you earn it. All right, have a good day, and I'll check you out on Friday. And until then, man, again, have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you. And until then, be safe and be blessed. See you later.